You know, one of the most exhausting things I ever did in my life was apologize for simply being. And I don't mean saying a sorry when I bumped into someone on the street. I mean apologizing with my presence, walking into a room already trying to make myself smaller so that other people didn't have to notice me. For years, I thought that was the safe thing to do. If I kept my head down, if I didn't speak too loudly, if I made myself non-threatening, I'd be liked, or at least tolerated. But here's the ugly truth about living like that. You don't really live. You tiptoe through your own existence like a guest in someone else's house. And the worst part, you start to believe you deserve to be in the corner, that you're meant to be less. I used to walk into auditions and immediately scan the room for people I thought the casting director would prefer. Taller, more handsome, more a leading man material. And before I even opened my mouth, I had already told myself, well, they've probably already chosen him over you. That's apologizing for existing. That's surrendering before the fight even begins. And I'll tell you something. Nobody ever asked me to do that. Nobody sat me down and said, Peter, could you please just dim yourself down a little? It makes us more comfortable. But somehow, I took it upon myself to do it anyway. Maybe it was years of hearing jokes, or the way strangers' eyes lingered just a little too long, or the fact that every time I turned on the television, I didn't see anyone who looked like me being taken seriously, somehow. But here's what I eventually learned, and I wish I'd learned it sooner. People can only take from you what you hand them. The moment I decided, no more apologies, no more pre-shrinking myself before anyone else can do it, the world didn't suddenly become easier, but I became stronger. And you might be thinking, sure, that's easy to say when you've made it. No, it's not easy at any stage. I still walk into rooms today where I feel that old urge to explain myself, to earn the right to be standing there. That instinct doesn't vanish overnight, but now I've trained myself to notice it and reject it. I remind myself, I belong here because I showed up, and that's enough. See, when you apologize for existing, you're telling the world that you agree with its doubts about you. You're feeding a narrative that says you're less. And the tragedy is, you might start to believe it. You'll call it a being humble or a staying grounded. But really, it's fear wearing polite clothes. Humility is a beautiful thing, but don't confuse humility with self-erasure. Humility says, I'm no better than anyone else. Self-erasure says, I'm less than everyone else. And there's a world of difference between the two. I'm not telling you to walk into every room like you own it. That's not confidence. That's arrogance. I'm saying walk into every room like you deserve to be there. Because you do. Your presence, your story, your truth, they matter. And if they make some people uncomfortable, that's not your problem to fix. There's a strange thing that happens when you stop apologizing for who you are. Some people will like you more. Some will like you less. That's okay. You can't be everyone's favorite flavor. If you try, you'll lose the taste of who you actually are. I remember the first time I went into an audition without trying to hide, without trying to be an acceptable version of myself. I didn't get the role, but when I left, I felt lighter. Because for once, I hadn't played a role in the waiting room. I didn't spend the day editing myself before I even had the chance to perform. And here's the funny thing. The more I did that, the more people noticed. Not everyone, but the right ones. The ones who could see past their own expectations. Sure, the ones who weren't hiring a body type, but a human being. So let me save you some years of wasted time. Stop apologizing for existing. Stop giving silent disclaimers before you speak. Stop trying to soften your edges so no one feels the sharpness of your reality. Because those edges, they're not flaws, they're features. When you walk through life constantly apologizing for who you are, you're living a version of yourself written by someone else. And if you're not careful, you'll get to the end of your story and realize you never actually lived it. You don't need to be loud to be unapologetic. You don't need to be brash. You just need to stop giving people the discount version of you. The full version might scare a few away, sure. But it will also pull the right ones closer. If you take nothing else from this, take this. The apology they never asked for is the one that costs you the most. And once you stop giving it, you'll finally see how much space you were always meant to take. For a long time, I thought the only way to succeed was to make my difference disappear, to somehow smooth it over, hide it, camouflage it so well that people wouldn't notice. If I could just blend in, maybe life would get easier. Maybe I'd be accepted. I believed that lie so much that I worked hard at being invisible. I thought if I could just be a normal, then I could finally earn the right to belong. But here's the cruel trick. The more you try to erase what makes you different, the more you erase the very thing that could set you apart. Think about it. Every role I've ever been proud of, every opportunity that truly mattered, came to me because of my difference, not in spite of it. The very thing I once saw as a limitation became the door through which the most important parts of my life walked in. If I'd succeeded in hiding it, if I'd managed to look like everyone else, I would have disappeared into the noise. Difference is uncomfortable, not just for other people, but for you too. It makes you question yourself. It makes you wonder, what would my life be like if I looked, spoke, or moved like everyone else? And the world isn't shy about answering that question for you. It will tell you, if you were different in this one specific way, you'd be more acceptable, more lovable, more marketable, and if you're not careful, you'll believe them. But here's what they don't tell you. Sameness is forgettable. People remember the ones who stand out. They remember the ones who make them stop for just a second and think, I've never seen that before. That's not a weakness. That's presence. That's impact. I've been in rooms where people tried to politely suggest I might be limiting myself by not taking roles that downplayed my height. As if playing something real, something authentic, something true to me was a bad career move. But every time I chose a role that didn't apologize for my difference, that role spoke louder than any assigned choice ever could. And it's not just about careers, it's about life. The relationships that last, the friendships that matter, they're not built on who you pretend to be. They're built on the you that refuses to hide. The you that says, yes, I am this way. Yes, I'm different. And no, I'm not changing that so you feel more comfortable. Difference is magnetic. Not for everyone, but for the right ones. It filters. It weeds out the people who want you to be someone else and draws in the people who love you as you are. And those people, the ones who aren't scared of your difference, those are the people who will help you grow, not shrink. I won't sugarcoat it. Your difference will scare some people. It will confuse them. It will make them avoid you because they don't know what to do with you. And that's not going to appeal to everyone, nor should it. You want proof? Look at anyone who's changed the world in any field. Artists, scientists, leaders, every single one of them leaned into their difference. They didn't try to hide the thing that made them unconventional. They built their identity on it. Steve Jobs didn't wear a suit and tie like every other CEO. He wore a black turtleneck. Salvador Dali didn't paint like anyone else. He painted melting clocks. Leonard Cohen didn't sing like other singers. He embraced the voice he had, and it became iconic. Now, imagine if any of them had said, you know what, I think I'll just blend in. I'll try to be more like the others. We wouldn't know their names. They'd have been washed away in the tide of sameness. The moment you understand that your difference is your leverage, your life changes. You stop chasing opportunities that require you to shrink. You stop begging people to accept you by pretending to be less. Instead, you start looking for places where your difference is an asset, because those places exist. They're out there waiting for you. But they'll only recognize you if you're visible, and you can't be visible if you're busy hiding. So, if you're sitting there thinking, I'd be better off if I could just change this one thing about myself, I'm telling you that a one thing might be the very thing that makes you unforgettable. The thing that gets you in the door. The thing that changes how people see the world. Don't waste your life sanding yourself down to fit into spaces that were never built for you. Instead, find or create spaces that need your shape, your voice, your way of being. Because the world doesn't just need more people, it needs more people who are unapologetically themselves. You might be different, but different isn't less. It's more. More memorable, more original, more you. And that's your greatest advantage if you're brave enough to claim it. One of the most frustrating lessons I've learned in life is that not everyone is meant to understand you. You could spend years trying to explain yourself, twisting into shapes to be understood, and still nothing. Blank stares. Awkward nods. People who smile politely, but keep you at arm's length. For a long time, I thought that meant I was doing something wrong, that I hadn't yet figured out the right way to present myself so the world would finally say, "Now we get you." But here's the truth. You could speak in the clearest voice, you could bare your heart, you could put every ounce of yourself into proving your worth, and the wrong people still wouldn't see you. And it's not because you're invisible, it's because they're not looking. The wrong people will look at you and only see what they expect to see. They'll see the surface, your appearance, your background, your style, your quirks, and they'll file you away into a category in their mind. And once you're in that box, they stop listening. You can't reach them because they've already decided who you are, and if you're not careful, you'll spend all your energy trying to change their mind. You'll waste years shouting into a closed door, hoping it will open. I've walked into auditions where I knew the decision had already been made before I even introduced myself. I could feel it in the way they looked at me, a glance that said, "We already know you're not what we want, all we want," and for a while I thought it was my job to convince them otherwise. But here's the shift that changed everything. I stopped trying to win over people who had already decided against me. I stopped bleeding energy into battles I could never win. And instead, I started looking for the people who were already curious, the ones who leaned forward instead of leaning back, the ones who didn't need me to justify why I was in the room. When you meet those people, you know it. There's no convincing, no defending, no apologizing. They just see you, not the surface you. Your difference doesn't confuse them, it intrigues them. Your presence doesn't make them uncomfortable. It makes them want to know more. And the only way to find those people is to stop hiding. You cannot be seen if you are constantly adjusting yourself to meet someone else's idea of acceptable. You can't attract the people who would love the real you if you never give them the chance to see it. The right people might be rare, but they're worth the wait. They're the ones who will put you in spaces where your uniqueness is not just accepted. They're the ones who will offer opportunities that match who you are, not who you pretend to be. You won't flinch when you show up as yourself because they were hoping would walk through the door. When I first started acting, I thought my career depended on getting everyone to like me. But the truth is, you don't need everyone to like you. You just need the right ones to notice you. And when they do, they'll see things in you that you didn't even realize were strengths. They'll hand you roles, projects, friendships, and opportunities that actually fit. The danger is that if you're too busy chasing approval from the wrong people, you'll miss the ones who are already on your side. You'll be so focused on breaking down the wrong doors that you won't notice the right ones standing open. It's a little like sunlight. If you spend all your time standing in the shadow of someone else's expectations, you can't grow. But if you step into the light, your light, or you'll start to notice the people who were standing there all along, waiting for you to join them. I won't lie, it's hard to let go of the need to be understood by everyone, but it's not. It's choosing wisely where to place your energy. It's saying, I will not waste my fire trying to warm people who are never going to stand close enough to feel it. So, stop trying to be visible to people who aren't even looking. Stop handing your worth to those who don't know how to hold it. Stand as you are, and let your presence be loud enough to call in the ones who see beyond the obvious. The obvious. When the right people see you, everything changes, and you won't have to fight for that moment. You'll just have to be ready for it. It's easy to believe that if you just keep your head down, do the safe thing, follow the script everyone else is following, life will reward you. You'll avoid rejection, dodge criticism, and maybe even earn a quiet kind of acceptance. Yes, maybe you will. But the problem is, you'll also avoid impact. You'll avoid living a life that matters. Every great change in art, in science, in culture, in the way people think, was made by someone who refused to stay small, someone who dared to be visible, someone who stood where the light could him, even if that light also cast a shadow. Playing small is seductive. It feels safe. It's like hiding under a blanket during a storm. And when you peek out from under the blanket, you realize you didn't really live through it. You just waited for it to be over. And that's not living, that's surviving. When I started in this industry, I was told in subtle ways, and sometimes not so subtle ways, that I should stay in my lane. That I should be grateful for whatever came my way, even if it was a stereotype, even if it chipped away at my dignity. And for a while I listened. I thought, well, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't push too hard. Maybe I should just be thankful for scraps. But then I realized something. Playing small doesn't protect you from rejection. It doesn't shield you from judgment. You still get rejected. You still get judged. You've just traded away your power in the process. You've made yourself smaller for nothing. And when you make yourself smaller, you also make your impact smaller. You can't inspire anyone by hiding. You can't change minds by blending in. You can't lead by whispering from the back of the room. The truth is, if you want to make a difference in your career, in your community, in your own life, you have to risk being seen. You have to risk making people uncomfortable. You have to risk standing in a space that wasn't designed for you and claiming it anyway. It won't be easy. People will doubt you. They'll laugh. They'll try to push you back into the box you climbed out of. They'll say, "Who do you think you are?" And your answer has to be, "I am exactly who I say I am." Every time you take up space as your full self, you send a signal. You tell the world, this is possible. This can be done. And someone watching you, someone who maybe thought they couldn't do it, will see you and think, if they can, maybe I can too. That's how the world changes, not in giant, earth-shattering moments, but in these small sparks that catch fire in someone else's heart. I'm not here just to exist. We're here to live. And living means risking. It means refusing to shrink to fit into a room that should have been built bigger in the first place. It means speaking when your voice shakes. It means showing up when you're not. Sure, you'll be welcome. It means refusing to let fear dress itself up as humility and call it wisdom. And yes, you'll stumble. You'll get it wrong sometimes. You'll push too far or not far enough. But I promise you this, you will never regret standing tall. You will never regret showing up as yourself, unapologetically, and refusing to play small just to make others more comfortable. Because here's the thing, the people who tell you to stay small, they're not the ones who will build the life you want. They're not the ones who will carry your dreams forward. They're not the ones who will tell your story when you're gone. That's on you. And if you spend your life bending to fit their comfort, you'll end up living a life that was never truly yours. So, no more hiding. No more shrinking. No more waiting for permission to be exactly who you are. The world doesn't change when you play small, and neither will your life. Step forward. Take up space. Own your voice. And when they ask, who do you think you are? You tell them, I am me. And that's my greatest strength. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful thing you can give this world is yourself. Undiluted, unedited, unafraid. Not the version you think will be accepted, but the real thing. The one that some people won't understand, that some will walk away from, but that the right people will see and treasure. You're not here to be a shadow. You're here to stand in the sun. So, stand. And if your knees shake, let them. If your voice trembles, let it. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that who you are is worth showing the world anyway. The moment you embrace that, the moment you stop apologizing, stop hiding, stop playing small, you won't just change your own life. You'll give others the courage to change theirs. And that is how you change the world.